Welcome, you legends. Today we take on a new challenge, which is quite an interesting one. It's a Mewtwo challenge. Boring, I know. Easy, I know. But it's a Mewtwo challenge with randomised Pokemon for the trainers. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So there are a few rules to consider. Now, there are a few more than I've actually put on here, but only Mewtwo is allowed in battle. HM Pokemon are allowed, but only for HM purposes. Only held items are allowed, so actual battle items are not allowed, or potions are not allowed in battle. No glitches or exploits are allowed. And then a few extra rules, so it is clearly a randomised run, so it's difficult to preempt what they have. And then the main rule that's different is I'm not using any moves stronger than 75 power points. Let's see if I can do this. So this was a more recent run, so this was about 2 months ago, but I named my rival Chris. I know, very similar to the same one that we named it before in one of the other runs, but named it Chris, and obviously I named myself Dobby. If you do want to be the name of the main character or even the rival, please let me know in the comments below. One extra option that I did was I chose for the rival to have the same starter throughout, and I made sure that he had Charizard just because obviously I love Charizard. So we named the Mewtwo after one of the viewers called Echo. Echo was viewing, I think, for the first time on this one, but anyway, we take on Echo and his Charmander. Obviously not going to be any situation that needs to be wary of. We win that in 2 shots. We take on the next rival fight, nice and easy again. I forget to add Echo underneath, but yeah, we get burnt. We're actually in quite a pickle, but thankfully we actually do get a crit. Probably would have lost that if we didn't get that crit. I tried to do somewhat minimal battles, you know, if you look, I mean, I know I'm level 11, the same as Agron was here, but I basically beat all the trainers that were in the way. We get paralysed, and we're against the Corsola here, which stays true to Brock anyway, and most, as in rock types, but it's weird. Basically, the setting I did was, it was randomised, but it was based on similar abilities. Anyway, we're looking at the fossil. Which one do I choose? Is it the root or the dome? It's not the root. Root's not even in this. It's dome or helix. Of course, I go for the helix in that suspense and make you wait. We go for a fight with Misty, and she has a Psyduck again, like normal in the actual anime. And she's got Ash's Donphan, so it makes it even funnier that we managed to beat her quite easily indeed. And we get the second badge. Obviously some decent progress, but let's be honest, we do have one of the easiest Pokemon to use in a run like this. Doesn't get too easy towards the end, but we'll see. Anyway, Growlithe up next, and actually he's got one of his main Pokemon that he has, and Charmeleon, so he's still got a similar team, but then he's got Staryu. He stole Misty's Staryu. How interesting with that. And then finally he loses that fight. Again, you're going to see, look at this, it's very much randomised every single time. Confusion was probably my best bet, and if you look, Rock Tomb, I keep that for a good while because it's usable. It's the only move that I could use to hit dark types, which I did actually experience quite a lot, because a lot of dark types were replaced on people's teams. Anyway, easy fight, and at this point, I don't know why I just kept this in, but it really annoyed me with this, with these, what do you call it? These trash can things. But anyway, I guess I kept it in. Seal, nice and easy. One shot Ghastly in. The last one, Grumpig, bit of a harder one, but we decided to barrier one time. We missed the Sable twice, so I was a bit annoyed. We used Rock Tomb to reduce its speed, to see if it will make any difference, and it did. We managed to beat it at level 28. Again, I probably should have done minimum battles in this instance, but towards the end I decide to battle a lot less. Moving on to Erica now, and obviously she is the grass type gym leader, but she's got Porygon 2 to start off with, and it's quite funny what Pokemon she has in the team next. You'll laugh at this. She has a Tangela still, ironic, but then she has a Sandslash. That was the one that I was laughing at, was the Tangela, as if she still had that. They couldn't even replace the Tangela. Sun Slash was easy enough, and now it's Giovanni's turn to lose. Straight away he's got Ash's Bayleaf, and then the random Farfetch that was easy. And look at this, they're all one shot, so yeah, nice and simple. Again, we are at quite a high level. Probably would have tried to do this if I was to teach better moves. I probably would have done it at a bit lower level, but nonetheless, look how easy this is for us. He's just seemingly got all the Pokemon that make it easy for us, and we one-shot his whole team. Gets harder towards the end, he does, but we defeat the final Rocket Grunt, and we managed to free Mr. Fuji, and he gives us the Pokeflute to actually enable us to move throughout the rest of the region. Not bad, we're doing really well with the progress, and obviously it's Rival 5-all, and we come up against a Slowking to start. What a terrible start this will be. Rock Tomb is enough to take it out, but goodness me, it did a lot of damage. And for some reason he's got a Sceptile, which is a really good one to have for him. Unfortunately he's got a Clefairy, which is not great, but he's got a team of 3 starters, and they're all different types as well. 2 of my favourite ones. Actually I like Sceptile too, but yeah, anyway, we managed to beat him with 2 HP. We survived so easily in some ways, but so much so it was quite difficult, you know. Anyway, we're against Giovanni. It is time to lose our way. We come in with 107 HP. I thought to myself, we don't need to heal, and you'll see why. He puts himself to sleep. Again, a nice and easy one. And look, this is why we had Rock Tomb, because we ran out of PP for Rock Tomb, meaning we now have to try and stall and try our best to essentially get some struggle. So what I do is I look at my moves. Obviously I need to get rid of Barrier. I think I need to get rid of some Confusion, but recover as well. So I have sped this up to just make it go quicker, but the only one that he really used was Nature Power, and it was really terrible, and Pound of course, but look how much damage it does to us, especially with Barrier. But the crit makes sure it doesn't matter. It was such a stally battle because, as I say, I didn't have that move that was available to hit him, and I really did struggle. Essentially I almost had the same moves as I started with, except for Disable of course. But yeah, if you just analyse this whilst we're waiting for Struggle. Oh, here we go. Struggle is now available. Look how weak it is. It's so bad for us in this scenario, but we are going to potentially win now. So yeah, I mean, I guess I know that we are going to struggle in terms of our moveset, and I purposely made it harder for that reason. But yeah, I didn't think it would be so long, that fight, but I guess it was. We now move on to this team. Oh, look how easy it is. We've gotten through to the equivalent of Alakazam, the Meganium, and we've beaten it. We've absolutely smashed it. And now it's just Kingler who gets one shot. Not the best special defense. So yeah, we've gotten all the way to 8 minutes or whatever now, and we're doing really well. Obviously you would expect that with Mewtwo. I know it is randomised. We decide to keep, this is why we keep Rock Tomb, because essentially he's got a Sharpedo, and I found that out just at that point, and I know what's going to happen, so I need to keep enough Rock Tomb to make sure I can take out him. Once you can, well, you're laughing because you're able to take out the rest of the team quite easily. So thankfully I was able to do that. But yeah, it was just about keeping the Rock Tomb for Sharpedo, just because of the Dark typing. Okay, so we get to Belaine now, and this was another day of streaming, but yeah, obviously it's the next part of the video. Nice and easy. Well, he's got Lickitung, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was just trying to stall because I didn't have a lot of moves in terms of Rock Tomb, and I stupidly used Rock Tomb again and wasted it like an idiot. I had to restart it. Should have thought my luck. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to beat the Shiftry, let's be honest. But anyway, we'll restart. We'll take him on again. We got confused. No, sorry, we got disabled, which was annoying. But yeah, Rock Tomb was a 3 shot, so we weren't going to take it out in that first instance. Anyway, it could even be a 4 shot sometimes. See, it just was the case. And And then finally, Claydol, bit of a tricky one because we are using Psychic, which it is, and ground and Rock type move, sorry, which it resists because it is ground. So all in all, not the easiest one to battle, but nonetheless we still give it a good go and we win the 7th gym badge. Not too bad. Again, I'm quite happy with how we're going. Just past the 10-minute mark, and it is time for Giovanni. Now straight away he obviously starts off with a Dark type, which is just annoying. Keep enough Rock Tomb for that so that we can tackle him. We have a Dragonair to beat now, and let's see how we get on with it. He does attack us twice, but thankfully we managed to kill it. Well, not kill him, beat him. Confusion is doing the same damage as Rock Tomb, so I'll go for that. But if you look at this, I reduced its speed so that I could make sure I'm able to go first again. And the last one is Farfetch'd. What an interesting way to lose with having Farfetch'd as your main ace. I do not know. But anyway, penultimate rival fight, and he's got a Porygon 2 to start with against me. Nice and easy, but this Ursaring was a bit of a challenge because it had Feint Attack. And then another Nuzleaf. Goodness me, we love Nuzleaf recently, don't we? This, I think, replaces the Growlithe or the Execute because it's not a fully evolved Pokemon. Anyway, we are really struggling here because we do not have well, we actually set up on it and use barriers, of course, but we now have no I think no more barriers, but oh no, it was Torment, so we can't use the same move. Yeah, so we're doing alright. We're going to one-shot the Charizard, and now he's just got a Porygon 2, which that's quite funny. He had a Porygon Z, I think, to start with, and a Porygon 2 to end with. So yeah, all in all, quite an interesting fight. It might have been a Porygon, I can't remember, but and this is where it gets to the hard part of the run. This bit was intense. So you may know about Chansey having amazing health and really, really good, if not amazing, special defense. Terrible at defense, but obviously we don't have any attacking moves physically at this moment in time. And I didn't want to, at this point in the challenge, I didn't want to give myself any moves that were stronger than what I already had. I wanted to try and do it with just these moves, but then I thought to myself, well, actually I'm going to need to level up to at least level 60 to beat it. It wasn't going to be easy, so yeah, this is the story of probably about half an hour within real life. Obviously you're not going to see the whole of it because I'd rather you not need to see that, but we managed to get the Chansey quite low, as you can see, but then it put us to sleep. Eventually we wake up and we start trying to like chip his health down, but as soon as he gets into that red, as you see now, a full restore. So essentially I was using all my power points against one Chansey, and it's so annoying that this is the first Pokemon as well. So I had to rethink my strategy, and you'll see what I do in a minute. I do something that's quite, I'm not going to say clever, but quite useful. But anyway, whilst we're waiting for us to beat this Chansey, if you are new around here and you have enjoyed the video so far, I know for the most part the first bit I was quickly talking in some ways, but if you have enjoyed, please consider subscribing and liking, as it helps me out massively. I'm looking to push for 100 subscribers or more, of course, but that is the next milestone to go for. But yeah, and if you could leave a comment, tell me what your favourite part of the challenge was, which Pokemon you loved seeing me against with a Mewtwo. I bet you it was a Sharpedo where I had to rethink my strategy. But we eventually finally beat the Chansey, and I decided not to learn Safeguard because I weren't really fussed. Luckily, Breloom is nice and easy, so we one-shot that. Being a fighting type, nice and easy. So yeah, Lumina's not the worst ever, but it was just, this was not the best start considering we had a Chansey. So yes, anyway, let's find out what the next Pokemon is. Mr. Mime, again, not too much of a challenge. Rock Tomb is not the best against it, and neither is Confusion. Again, you'll see what my strategy becomes soon. I do think I utilised the moves to the best of my ability soon, but take out the Mr. Mime, and then Miltank became a bit of an issue. We decided to get rid of its speed, and because he used Bide, I decided, you know what, I don't want to attack you, I just want to recover. And it failed. It was so clever that I did that. So he used the Body Slam, got the Citrus Berry off, but thankfully we were good enough to take out the Miltank. Finally is an Alakazam. We've not actually really had many threats with an Alakazam in this run so far. But then he uses a move that could absolutely destroy me, and look how much Psychic is doing. Goodness me, it's doing a lot. So I'm hoping Rock Tomb is enough to help me take him out. Obviously we get a speed drop, but that's not a lot. I think we're going to lose now, because all it needs to do is use a Psychic, and it's probably going to one-shot me. Shall we see if it does or not? Yeah, we will. Because it's quite a tricky one, this Alakazam. Obviously Alakazams are quite a good Pokemon anyway, but yeah. So, are you ready to see how unlucky I am? So we get Rock Tomb, which is good, and he uses a Future Sight, so I think, oh yes, I'm going to win. And then he survives on 1 health and wrecks us. I was not happy. So this is my new strategy. A Taunt Calm Mind in replace of Barrier, which you shall see in a second. The reason why is because Confusion is obviously very good when you've got a good move. And then I do change it again in a minute, but yeah, so I wanted to set up on the Chansey as best as I could, but wait until you see the results of this. It wasn't great, if I'm honest. I know this is a longer video than the Aggron and even the Aron, but it's just I wanted to show you my little strategies for the Elite Four with it being randomised. Obviously, as you can see, Calm Mind has made Confusion do a lot more damage in this regard, but it's still not a lot. So I think to myself at this point, I'm like, shall I decide to use another what do you call it, Calm Mind, or should I just go for more Confusions, get rid of this because Chansey keeps putting me to sleep, or will keep putting me to sleep. So yeah, you see what I do in a second, and I use another Confusion. It puts me to sleep, so it restores itself with a full restore whilst I'm asleep. It's really stressful, this was, as you can see. Anyway, Confusion time. So we keep using it, and as you can see, our damage has been reduced. I don't know. Oh, the light screen was in play. That's why. Sometimes I don't really look at what happens, but yeah, we managed to beat the Chansey, and we've got a decent scenario. So we keep learning Safeguard. So what I do after that is I level up to 55, so I don't need to keep learning it. Obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, we've one-shot the Breloom. Now look how much damage Confusion is doing to the Mr. Mime. It's not a lot. We get a special defense drop too, so that's not great. Light screen wears off, so we do finally take out the Mr. Mime. With 2 more to go, Miltank shouldn't be that bad, and as you can see, it isn't. We one-shot the Miltank nice and simply. It's just Alakazam. Alakazam is really close to a one-shot. Thankfully, this Calm Mind doesn't make a difference, and we finally get on to the next opponent, and that will be, as you know, it will be Bruno. So whilst we're waiting, we do heal up, and the most important thing is we try and see if we can beat Bruno. Leave your comments as to whether you think I can. Let's be honest, I should. With Confusion, shouldn't need any more support of that, but he obviously has a different team. So Confusion is good enough for the Spinner, but then I decide let's set up on the Spinner. I nearly said Tinder then. Goodness me, that makes me look like I use it often. Don't anymore. But yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, let's get into the rest of the fight. Spinner actually is kicking my behind, so much so that I recover enough to use what do I use? I look to use my Confusion now. It is enough to one-shot it. I have to set up on that, but I think now that I've set up on it, I should be able to finish off every Pokemon except for the Absol, which we have lots of Rock Tomb, but we miss because of double team. We miss again because of double team. And then he uses a Perish Song. Oh my goodness me. Obviously I have nothing to swap into. Look how much damage we do. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. That is how the run ends. With an Absol with Perish Song. And then he swaps out anyway, just to disrespect me even more. I didn't know how to take that one, to be honest with you. Like, it upset me a bit. So I decided, right, Brick Break is not only going to help against the Chansey, but it's going to help against this annoying Absol. So I get rid of Rock Tomb and teach the Brick Break. Now Brick Break is 75 base power and not a bad move, but the reason why I chose it is because I didn't want to go any higher than that. I could have obviously taught better moves, but anyway, we'll go for Brick Break, and as you see, we one-shot the Chansey. I decided to one-shot that so we're not constantly put to sleep. We set up on the Balloon, and this is the last time I will show you the fight with Lorelei. I just wanted to show you the new strategy with Brick Break. Obviously, as you can see, confusion is not a lot against the Mr. Mime, so I do decide to set up against the Mr. Mime. It can't really attack us very strongly, so all in all, we've actually made a good decision on this one. So Mr. Mime uses Safeguard. Thankfully, doesn't make a difference to me. And we two-shot the Mr. Mime. Just 2 more to go. Of course, we've got the Alakazam and the Miltank, but Miltank should get one shot, and it does. It's just about the Alakazam now. This becomes a lot more consistent now that we've got these few moves that we use. And as you can see, we are going to one-shot. Well, not one-shot. We're going to shoot two-shot the Alakazam now. With the difference of the Carmine, it actually made it survive, nearly survive. And I think it was a range, that last one, so we got lucky. But again, as I say, I won't show you any more Lorelei videos or parts of Lorelei videos. It's just whether we can beat Bruno. Now, it's Bruno Mars' time to shine, and we set up on the Spinder. Of course, we probably should set up on a different Pokemon because Tita Dance is very annoying. But for some reason, it's all he keeps using. So when we finally can attack, we are going to use a very powerful Brick Break, which will one-shot the Spinder. Next comes out Azumarill, so I set up on the Azumarill. Probably should have done this from the start. We've got 4 Carmines up. I think that's enough to defeat most of his team, and it is obviously enough for Azumarill. It's not enough for Absol because obviously we don't use that sort of move, but we do two-shot the Absol. Thankfully, it went for Slash, so we were able to win the battle. If it didn't go for Slash, obviously if we went for Perish Song, we were losing this fight. But yeah, with 2 left, it's Roselia with Confusion, who's going to be one-shot. And what's the last one? It's a Blissey. Of course it is, but thankfully we can now take Blissey out in 2 with a Brick Break. Of course it will use a full restore, of course it will, but we use a Brick Break twice and finish the fight. So far, not too bad. Obviously, we've now got our fight with Agatha. I can't remember what Pokemon she actually has, so we'll just start with the rest of the team. And she starts off with a Blastoise, which is great. I was thinking to myself, let's set up, because it's going to use a Protect. I'm used to it using Protect, so it protects itself again, so I used another Carmine. I just kept doing it until it actually started to attack me. It wasn't going to attack me that time. It became confused, so thankfully we were able to attack it. Unfortunately, it used a full restore again, but didn't protect that second time. So thankfully we were able to beat it. And then we've got Mischievous, which is going to be one shot. Oh no, it's not. It was nearly one shot, but for some reason it wasn't. No matter. We set up on the Mischievous. It uses Pain Split, which is annoying, but we're not going to attack. We're going to recover to get ourselves a bit more. Oh, Grudge was not the best. So because it used Grudge, we obviously lost all of our power points. Brick Break is enough to two-shot the Crawdaunt, which is great because it was setting up on us. The last 2, easily Wigglytuff will be taken out with Brick Break in 2 shots. We literally... How bad is my luck? I have 1 attacking move for Espeon. So, cue montage of me struggling. So I just decided to speed it up 4 times because goodness me, look how slow this is. I'm basically stalling for a struggle because I have no actual attacking moves. What happens in a moment is quite funny, but yeah. So what can I talk about? What is your favourite Pokemon? Let me know in the comments below. Right, anyway, so we get to real time now, and Espeon is struggling against us. Thankfully it's not doing a lot, but we have one more and then we finally struggle. Now actually it gets really tense because although we do decent damage with struggle, we actually are going to potentially die to recoil. It has a citrus berry as well, which is not great because look how low we get with our recoil. Thankfully we managed to get it to literally 1 health, but we had 30 ourselves, so we were really close to dying. Thankfully that is not the case, and we are on to Drake. Sorry, not Drake. Why did I say Drake? It's Lance. Drake is in Emerald, isn't he? Okay, so we've only got 2 more trainers to go, and you will see that they are not too difficult, but they are setting up against us. This Sizzle has done really well. We couldn't really allow ourselves to set up against the Sizzle because of its typing. Then we obviously are finding it really difficult to beat this Sizzle because it has such good moves against us. And look at this, Slash actually finishes us off. It's not really the best scenario for us, sadly. Okay, so it's our chance against Lance for the 2nd time in the video. Now, obviously we know it's got Sizzle, so we do want to finish it quite quickly. Brick Break is not the best, and obviously he's just using Iron Defense, so that's not great. I guess the best thing we could do really is set up some Calm Minds to try and confusion it. Try and really like just brute force our way through. We set up our 3rd, and it keeps using Iron Defense, which is actually really good. That's what we want. We want Iron Defense. So sadly Slash comes out, but we've got the Sizzle into a 2, maybe a 3 shot. In this regard, it is a 2 shot, thankfully, and we level up in the mid of the fight. Sunflora is next, and obviously that's going to be 1 shot. It's very frail. Sunflora is. We decided to use a Brick Break to see if it does enough damage, but actually we should have just used Confusion because we potentially have lost the ability to attack Dark types. Anyway, we use Confusion on the Milotic, and then finally Dragonite comes out. Of course, we are going to first of all recover because we need our health, but then as the Dragonite uses agility, we are thinking, shall we set up another Calm Mind? And guess what? We do. I wanted to try and save my Calm Minds for the next fight, but then I thought, I've got an elixir, so I'll use that. For some reason I use Brick Break just to use as much stuff as I can. We've got 17 confusions, but we go for a recover twice. Sorry, we had 17 recovers. We have 1 confusion. I'm absolutely wrong there. Let's see if it does enough, and it does. It's a 1 shot, thankfully. We had to have just the right amount of Calm Minds there, but we managed to beat Lance, and yeah, I'm quite proud of that. We managed to stall as best as we could. Okay, let's do this. So the champion Chris has obviously got a full team of 6, and it starts off with Gorabis. I didn't even intend to make that rhyme with Chris, but anyway, we start setting up, and so do they. The more we set up, the more they will, so we'll keep using Calm Mind so that we've got a good special defense. For some reason it decides to use swap into Magmar, so we use Confusion. Obviously it's got a good special defense, and actually the tactic he is using is actually quite clever. We set up another Calm Mind. I got that mixed up with Confusion as he confuses us. We managed to use Confusion on it. Fire Blast is not doing a lot as expected because we've got a lot of Calm Minds up. Confusion is now going to be a 2 or 3 shot against the Magmar, which is not bad, but we want to ensure it is a 2 shot. So we set up another Calm Mind. We've got a few left in the bag just in case we lose some of our stats, but we are going to try and use a confusion, and we get hit in our own confusion. But finally, we take out the Magmar, and we've got 5 to go. We will use confusion on the Charizard. We'll one-shot. We will use confusion on the Gorobis, and we'll one-shot. We will use a confusion on the Noctowl, and we'll one-shot. Goodness me, we're going to keep doing this, aren't we? We'll use a Brick Break on the Aggron, and we don't one-shot. Of course we don't, because we are not the best physical attacker. Anyway, Aggron or Aggie from the last run versus Mewtwo Echo. Who will be victorious? Find out now as we use a second Brick Break. We do get a crit, so it's useful. And then we finally end with a Snorlax. Obviously, quite equally leveled, level 61 and 62. As I said, I tried to make sure towards this point I was minimum battles, but 2 confusions with full special attack boosts and defense. Goodness me, we are able to beat the rival. And that is the end of the run. It is nice, and look at that. The last follower was someone called Blue Mew, so that's quite ironic that we are a Mewtwo. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please consider hitting that subscribe, that ring that bell icon as well. That always helps. But then please like and comment, because those are the most important things to the videos, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. I really do hope you have an enjoyable rest of the day. Stay safe, and I will stay Dobby. Take care and goodbye.